Look at that funky
backpack. There's a Claire's in this Walmart.
Okay, so we got Carrollton Farmers Branch.
I think it's going to be mostly
Okay,
this.
so this is middle school. This is elementary. What should we pick? What is that? Good Lord. Painting it, right? Yes. So we'll do first grade. You got 3.
I need to measure my life. It's going to be a sad one.
We're gonna need more. So the first grade list, we need 1 Crayola 24 count of crayons. 2 pot. Okay, so I figure we'll skip like the folders and all that. We're just gonna use the supplies. So
Crayola's good.
Elmer's glue bottle.
Oh, hell. Let's make slime. We're going to become a slime channel now.
Where's the 24? There's no 24. For which one? Crayons.
Oh, no.
I need the 24 count or I can't go to school.
Oh, they're going to keep us out.
Hell no, let's get the 96. Remember that one kid who would always be like, look, I got Oh, we got the 24 pack of crayons. Let me make sure that this feels light.
Feels a little...
Somebody be someone stealing crayons.
Excuse you. Watch it be like right in front of us.
I know. Or is it in the bins? Is that where they keep them?
Bitches.
When you realize that the school supply list is just, you know, what the school should be providing, but the teachers can't pay for it themselves, so they have to.
Welcome to Texas education.
That's any education.
Yeah, he's the kid that got rose art instead of Crayola.
That's why you saw.
Aren't you, Jonathan?
Oh, they're cute. Okay, we can't find erasers, but
they're
like...
$1. You're an eraser, Harry.
This has everything to do with the drawing disasters video. They didn't get distracted by clothes or anything.
Don't be sexist. Everyone likes fashion. Back to school!
They don't pay me enough.
We don't pay you at all. This is community service for you. He killed a guy.
You're not supposed to say that.
Oh well. So we have all of our glorious school supplies from our Walmart outing, including my llama shirt. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use all the stuff that we can use to create something and just make something. We're gonna like
hopefully not eat the glue.
If you eat the glue, hey, it's non-toxic.
Yes, we did get these.
They didn't have the regular erasers, so we got little Harry Potter erasers because it's Harry Potter.
Release him.
We're using what's on the list for Farmers Branch ISD, Carrollton Farmers Branch. So yeah, if you are a student in Carrollton Farmers Branch, maybe this will inspire you during craft time, I hope. I also hope that if you're in first grade, you're not watching this. So yeah, I was like...
Draw your most influential teacher that you remember from school.
But make it a paper craft, got it.
Make it a paper craft.
Number 2 pencils. What are number 1 pencils?
Is it the lead?
It is the lead.
Yeah. Is it a finer lead?
It's the type of
feel like we should
graphite in the lead.
I use mechanical pencils like a heathen, so I don't know.
I do too. I'm that person. I'd had a couple art teachers who were like, no, you don't use mechanical pencils to draw, as well as like people in the industry who are like, no, don't use mechanical pencils, and I did it, and I'm making a living doing comics. Suck it.
You know the rule is do what you want because time is fleeting.
I'm trying to come up with a good idea for like hair or something. That's the thing I'm bad at is hair.
ELIA hasn't drawn this professor in a while.
I haven't. I'm about to have to for a little bit.
Yeah. Why, ELIA?
Why is that?
Because I'm re-releasing Humans Really Irritating.
Amazing! Buy it now, the link below. Just kidding, but like
There's no link yet.
There will be eventually.
There's no link yet.
We'll promo it when it actually is like,
is
ready. School was not for me, so I am very much self-taught and very much just doing my own thing.
And I wish I went straight to work after high school. Like, I probably would have been happier.
Yeah, because I was like, to me, I just knew that I wanted to do art and I didn't care about anything else.
Yeah.
But I was very woke as a small child, so I don't know.
I wasn't. I had the whole like, you can't be successful unless you go to college shoved down my throat. If you ever need a candle, kids, just light one of these on fire and it burns for an hour.
It's like a cigarette.
What's something you remember about a good teacher and then something you remember about a bad teacher?
Oh, I've got a bad story. In 7th grade, I think, was just starting out junior high, because that was back when junior high started at 7th grade before they switched the whole grading system. My science teacher that year was doing roll on the first day of school. The first day is like, she's setting the standard for me. And she gets to my name, and I could tell, I know when teachers get to my name on the roster.
Same.
Because they take that pause, and I know where my name lands in the alphabet. And so she just paused, and she's like, well, I don't know how to say this name, but it starts with an E. And I'm like, it's Elia Maria. And she's like, what? And I'm like, it's Elia Maria. I didn't even bother with my last name. And she's like, oh, well, I can't say that. And I'm like, well, you're gonna have to learn. And it ended up, like, I ended up not getting along with that teacher well because of that moment. And like, she didn't even try. Of course, she was white. I'm gonna bring that in there. She was super white, old country lady.
Yeah, we live in Texas,
look,
so like.
And so I ended up getting transferred to another science class because we just did not, you know.
That is unfortunate.
So yeah, that was that. And it wasn't a matter of like cool, you can just butcher my name, but try. Don't just give up because you don't feel like trying to learn something new, you know?
Exactly.
I was so mad.
I feel like, especially as an adult, when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, okay, it's fine. But as an adult, you're like, no, you're gonna learn my name. And
it's like, I'm starting middle school. I'm in the school with a bunch of kids from different elementary schools coming together, and this is the impression, like, you're like, this is how everyone's gonna know me as. Like,
wow,
I'm already like socially awkward as it is. And
I got in trouble for calling a teacher a bitch, but I didn't call her a bitch. And I was really angry because I was mad that I didn't get to call her a bitch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, some stupid child. I don't know. You're small children, you're just dumb. Crayon sins!
Don't know her own strength.
I put too much pressure.
She's an Amazon.
Okay, well.
And it was just some girl who did not like me, tattled on me, and was like, she called you a bitch. And the irony of it was, like, the teacher's name is Miss Sargent, and she was Sargent in my opinion, because she was really, she was like, you know, and she did not like me. I think because I was just ADHD, it was hard for me to focus. Big surprise. So she was like, the problem child is the kid with the stupid problems. Wow. And I'm like, yeah, I am, so you should probably work on that. So I got in trouble, and my mom was like, did you say that? And I was like, no. And she was like, okay.
What about a positive teacher experience? Because they're shaping the minds of our children.
For me, it's most of my art teachers, which is kind of what I'm drawing. I was so young and my memory is shit, so I don't remember all of them. I do remember a couple, so because I guess they just knew that, like, oh, she's not school. I would, let's see, it would be lunch, and I would go have my lunch in the art class and try and finish my art projects when I was little. So my teachers would just let me just have lunch there and finish whatever art project we were working on, because they realized that I guess that, like, I had a drive to, like, do stuff. As soon as they learn you're the ADHD kid or the ADD kid, they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I have a problem child. I'm like, that doesn't mean problem child. It just means that you're gonna have to just pay attention to them more.
I guess my favorite teacher is in college. He was my acting 1 teacher, head of the improv troupe. His name was Joe Chapa. And he's really the only professor who, like, made me feel like I belonged in theater, really. Sorry to any other theater teachers who are watching this, but I just never felt like I should have been in theater, except for, like, when I was doing improv or just in one of his fun classes, you know. And I don't know, he made it worthwhile, but I don't know. I wish I was given more chances.
Alcohol break.
Hell yeah.
Chug-a-lug.
I'm just getting depressed thinking about school.
That's why I'm like, drink the alcohol. If you had some advice, because there are kids that are still in school that are just still trying to make it through, whether they're in middle school or high school, college, like, do you have any advice for, since you have both one person, you know, who has been there and left, and another person who saw it all the way through to the very end of getting a, you know, college degree? Is there any sort of advice that you could impart to these people? To, like,
for me, I would say it's okay to not know what college you're supposed to go to. If you don't go as soon as you're out of school, that's fine. And anyone says otherwise, it's not their life to live, and you're trying to live your own life. It's okay to take a break after school. I do recommend finishing it. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So to me, because I always have a lot of like younger friends and stuff, because I do costuming a lot, so I meet people that are younger than me and stuff. And they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm just in college. And I'm like, oh, what for? And they're like, I guess business. And I'm like, oh, so you not know what you want to do? And they're like, no. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay to take a break and not go. You know that, right? And they're like, well, my parents will be disappointed.
I hate that.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be that bitch, but fuck what your parents think. Because it's, in the end, it's going to be your path to live and not theirs. They may have missed stuff, like, and they're like, oh, sweetie, I never went to college. I need you to go for me. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
You shouldn't have to make up for
I want you to
other
go to
people's
college,
mistakes. Yeah.
not I need you to go for me.
Plus, if you go and you end up not liking what you do or not studying, yeah, you're gonna have all this debt. And
my
it
dudes.
sucks.
I don't know, there's so many other ways to be inspired to do stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, well, you can find other paths. And if you're not well off in the currency world, like you can find the way you want to do stuff.
Yeah.
But you need the degree to get a good job.
That's bullshit. I have a degree and I'm working an hourly job right now.
It's okay to not know. That's what I want to tell you. It's okay to not know. Everyone acts like, oh my God, you have to know before you graduate. I didn't know shit.
I thought I knew what I wanted at 18. I was wrong.
Actually, even at age 25, you're still technically a stupid child. Like, you do stupid things. I'm 32. I still count myself as a dumb child sometimes.
What's your favorite childhood memory that you did with your parents?
So I went to a Barney concert.
Whoa. Privileged.
Dude, no, I was Barney's #1 fan, okay? This was actually before I started school, but that's probably the best thing I did with my parents. But like, if we're talking like during school, like every summer it would be tradition to go to Schlitterbahn.
Oh.
Y'all know, if y'all live in Texas,
I've never been there.
it's gross now, but we should
yeah.
like say some funny stories or something from school that we remember.
I do remember one.
Okay, go.
I don't know. I had like an upset stomach, which is always a good story starter.
Oh God.
And I was just like leaning on the chair really weird or something, because it was like before class started, I guess, or maybe it was like a mini like recess when the teacher went to the bathroom or something stupid. And I bent over the chair and I farted. And it was loud. And this one kid, I can't remember his name, but like, he was always like the class clown type. I do remember this because he was like really stupid, like funny stupid. And he walked by and everyone was like, oh my God, Kevin, you farted. And he was like, I didn't fart. And I'm sitting there like, totally farted. And he's like, I didn't fart, I promise I didn't fart. And I didn't say anything.
Girl.
Kevin can take the hit.
Kevin.
His name's not Kevin, Mama called him Kevin. Sorry, Kevin.
Oh my God.
That was
that's
me.
Funny. So I have a story.
ELIA.
It was kind of funny, but not really.
It's cool, I'll try and reflect
So-
as you talk, because I don't remember anything.
Okay, so one thing that was so not fun about school was that every time we got a substitute. Okay, so backstory. My mom is a college professor, and she teaches Spanish, but she's known as the strictest Spanish teacher like ever. Like if you go to her Rate My Professor, and so like anytime I would get a substitute teacher, odds are that teacher has had my mom as a professor.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so, of course, anytime they see my name on the roster, they're like, all right, let's just make this kid's life hell. Aside from that, like I always had substitutes just like giving me a hard time because of that. But one year, I think it was 9th grade, it was right after I got my new insulin pump. And of course, I was still learning the ropes and all that and trying to be cool, which leads me to another funny story, which I'll tell in a second. But diabetes has given me a lot of fun stories.
You'll have more stories, so please do. I'm like, sorry, guys.
Yeah, so I was in class. I forgot which class it was. I just remember that we had a substitute teacher who did not like me because I was my mother's daughter. And she saw my insulin pump and saw me messing with it when it beeped.
Oh,
and
no.
she was, yeah. So she was
already
like,
you're like, oh.
I know. And so she was like, excuse me, you can't have a cell phone in the classroom. Like sassy. Like I'm like, okay, first of all, this isn't a cell phone. And she's like, I know a cell phone when I see one. Turn it off.
You should have picked it up. Hello?
No, wait. She was like, well, put it up. And so, of course, I'm just like, cool, I'm gonna leave it here clipped on my side, like I always do. And then it goes off again.
Oh no.
And so I go to, and she's like, I told you to put your cell phone away. And I'm like, it's not a cell phone. I promise it's a medical device. And she's like, give me the cell phone. And she takes it out of my hand. It rips out of my body.
Oh no!
And there's blood on the and I literally look at her like, do you believe me now? But I pretty much scarred her for like any time she saw me in the classroom.
Maybe
like I was just like,
you shouldn't be ripping shit out of people's hands, you rude
dude,
bitch.
I'm like, girl, like you're making me go down to the nurse's office and miss class for this now. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Probably not a lot of awareness of
No,
type 1
absolutely not at all.
Yeah,
diabetes.
there was zero. I was the only diabetic from elementary school all the way
gotta
up
look up
to
my
high school,
reference.
which I'm sure now it's changed. But like back in the day, I was the only diabetic like that I knew going to the nurse's office doing like.
Let me make sure this is
yeah. Which brings me to my other story. So this was the first day of 9th grade. And the weird thing, okay, so my hometown's weird. So
Yeah, sound kind of.
this is in the middle of the middle school junior high transition. So now we had 6th graders starting in middle school. The 9th graders had their own campus.
Okay.
I ended up going to the bathroom. Like I had established like I don't want to go to the nurse's office before lunch. I don't want to miss class. I don't want to do this. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and take care of all my diabetes shit and just try to be normal. Great. Literally that was me. I'm like, middle school just traumatized me a lot.
Poor
I'm just gonna leave it
child.
at that. So I got my pump in the middle of 9th grade, but before I got that, I was doing injections. So right as the lunch bell rang, I would run to the bathroom. This was the first day. I hadn't established if this would actually work or not. And so I go into the bathroom, I quickly check my blood, cool. I do my dosage for my insulin and I start injecting myself and a girl walks in and freaks
Oh
out.
no!
She freaks
She's
out.
gonna
and
be like.
she's like, oh my god, she runs out. This girl's doing drugs in the bathroom! Like, and
You're
all
like,
of a sudden
no.
I'm surrounded by faculty. I'm surrounded by like the vice principal who was on guard in the cafeteria because the bathroom was right next to the cafeteria. And I'm like, cool, we're gonna start 9th grade with me, like everyone thinking I'm a drug pusher. Of course, the vice principal hadn't been educated by the fact that I'm a diabetic carrying around my own supplies.
Wow.
Which the nurse was supposed to communicate with everyone.
Oh, it's fine.
Did not.
Maybe she thought like, well, it needs to be confidential. But
Yeah, and
You already gave advice to the students going to school. What about the teachers? If you could give some advice to a teacher.
Just be patient and try and read your students a little better. If you notice their body language is a little
Yeah.
weird, body language, actually learn that. It sounds weird, but it's like, no, if you can learn a lot about someone about their body language. But like, just kind of learn that like, oh, this kid's a little different. Maybe I should talk to them by themselves, or maybe I should talk to them like, you know, I don't know, with their parents present or something. But the rules are so weird now too.
I think patience is like.
But
a
patience is a
thing.
big one, yeah. I'm always like, just be patient with that kid in your class that's a little more goofy than the others, or
Yeah.
just be a little kinder to the kids that are a little weird, you know, like they're not weird to be weird, they're just socially awkward, you know?
Yeah.
As a kid, I would have appreciated more patience, I think, or I would have appreciated a little more like one-on-one time to like learn better or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think singling out was one of my biggest like
Oh
peeves.
yeah.
Like I understand like some
yeah.
kids mess up great,
got
but
that.
like understand the whole problem before you like shame a kid in front of their whole class, because that's some impacts.
Well, yeah, and it's like some people will single out kids knowing that they're doing it, and some won't.
I wasn't like bullied. Like, well,
That's
okay,
good.
so I was bullied,
But, like-
I mean, nothing that like made me crazy, you know. It was more the well, it was more the like, yeah, I know, like
You're like, oh,
you're
cool.
telling me stuff I know.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
me. I was like, oh cool, I'm poor. Okay.
Like,
Oh wow, I have an afro. Got him.
Like you're an anime freak.
Got him.
Duh.
Which is funny because now it's mainstream, so it's like,
I know.
oh, you're an anime freak.
Honestly, my biggest regret sometimes was hearing like some of the little like pretty bitches at school say like mean things to the ethnic weird, just people who weren't white and pretty.
I got it from both ends because I'm mixed. So.
see, I just heard one side, and so one of my biggest regrets was never taking their hair and throwing them against the pole. I know that's bad to say, but I what I would give to go back and do that. I don't want to go to jail, but I really want her to be hurt right now.
I think one thing to think about is that everyone, no matter who you are in high school or middle school or whatever grade you're going through, everyone is feeling the exact same pressure.
Oh, it's all awkward.
And so, like,
body's
yes,
weird.
it is annoying. They're saying things that hurt you, but like, here's the thing: whenever you graduate, whenever you get out, whenever you leave, you won't see these people again. Like, they will not matter to you in
No.
your life.
And if you
True.
do, tell them to fuck off or just go about your business and ignore them. I mean, maybe they feel bad and that's fine.
And
Like,
if they
you
don't, then they don't.
Whatever, but
they're
yeah.
not. The thing is, like back
They're
then,
humans
yeah, back
somehow.
then it meant a lot to me. They were important to me. They impacted my life. But right now,
Isn't that
I couldn't
weird?
give two shits. I don't even remember. Like, I only remember one of their names because reasons. But
Oh, yeah.
but
That's fair.
like they don't matter to me anymore. Like, I'm living my life.
Yeah,
and-
like I don't know. I
Yeah.
always, yeah, because as that kid that was always like, oh, I don't care, because you can make fun of me as much as you want. I don't care. But once you make fun of my friends,
yeah.
I turn into a psychotic, crazy woman.
That's how I was. I remember getting in trouble
Yep.
in the lunchroom because someone was making fun of one of my friends.
You just don't do that.
And I yelled something that was really bad out loud
Oh,
and I got caught. The friend didn't get caught.
Oh, of
or the
course.
guy making fun of my friend. And I'm like, I promise that's why I did it. And of course, the guy who said it was a white boy. I'm just gonna. I went to a really like whitewash school, white favor school.
That's why, yeah.
Ellie and I have our 10-year high school reunion next year.
Can I
If
go?
I get invited, dude. I was ashamed of my freak flag back in the day, but then
No,
I
yeah,
got
everyone
comfortable
was.
with it.
That is normal.
Yeah.
If you're ever like, oh my god, I'm weirdo, you're not the only weirdo. Trust
No,
me.
yeah, I think that's another big advice I have, like, to all the little kids who think they're weird or who get called weird. Like, yeah, you're weird.
Be weird.
It's awesome being weird. I was so.
Do you know how much of a community we have for weirdos now?
The difference between middle school me and me now is that I'm confident in who I am.
Yep.
In middle school, I hated who I was because
Yeah.
I mean I was surrounded by people who were like
yeah.
taking it so negative, and so I saw myself as negative. And then I grow up and I'm like, there's more people who are like me. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going to my first anime convention in high school,
growing up.
and I think that's when I started getting more comfortable with
Yeah.
myself, seeing that other people.
Because I was looking
Conventions
up-
made me happy. Oh
Crazy
my god, yeah, if
word.
you see us at Anime Fest, please say hi. Like, I'm socially awkward, but please say hi.
I'm not.
I know she's not. She will come up and like,
I'm gonna
give
make
you
friends
her
with
blood
you.
type. Okay, where are you? How are you?
I'm kidding.
With the video.
Eats memory card. I like it. Prickly one. Did you ever do the glue thing where you put it all over your hand and they peel it off? Hell
It's so therapeutic.
Did you ever eat glue?
no, I was never a paste eater that I know of.
All right,
I ate
let's try
other
it right
stupid
now.
things.
Ellie, no.
It's not toxic!
Ellie, no.
I'm not gonna stop you.
Caution, do not dry clean.
The bottle?
What made them have to put that on there? Safe and non-toxic.
That doesn't mean you can eat it.
It's not meant for
Kids eat it all the
consumption.
time.
It's not meant for
Ellie,
consumption.
no. No.
It tastes like nothing.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah, let's do the best for last. Let me go first.
I'm just gonna pick at it because I can, bitch. You
All
can't
right.
stop me.
Go, Elliot. What did you draw?
So one of my influential professors, and you all know this, is Dr. Alan Sachs. He's the political science professor that I had at UTA. And he said the best things to the point where I wrote them down and illustrated them, making them to a book, because he's actually one of the professors. I have to burp. Thank you. One of the professors that I respected the most, not just because
That's
he was
cute.
funny, but because I actually learned so much from him without a PowerPoint, without a textbook. This was just pure knowledge.
Nice.
And like he'd have his guides, but like he was very like passionate about what he taught by himself. Like you could tell he knew his stuff. And so I was just like, wow, respect.
Mine is just kind of based on any art teacher and then kind of a math teacher I had, but yeah, so you're a good boy with a bunch of paint.
It's so cute.
But yeah, this is like a thanks to all the teachers that let me kind of eat awkwardly in your art, class and then finish my art projects because you knew I actually wanted to finish them.
All right, so yeah, if you want to see us, we're both going to be at Anime Fest, just chilling. I'll be in the artist alley. Izzy's going to be cosplaying literally every great thing.
I made your mustache go.
Oh my god. For those of y'all going back to school, good luck. Y'all are gonna do fine. Just be yourself. Don't be ashamed of who you are.
Yeah.
And just, you'll make it. And then
you'll do
teachers,
fine.
just, you can make it too. It's gonna be alright.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a bottle of wine in your kitchen, alright? Everyone, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, ring everyone's bell. subscribe to our coffee pages, could be a patron. Just go down the list of links below. Like
Yeah.
you'll know what to do. Click them all.
Send me
Give us-
cookies so I can
Give
draw
us
dumb
your
things.
money.
We're just trying to eat. I'm gonna go back to brushing your mustache.
Do it. Grooming.
Okay,
That's the part.
bye.
Bye.